Hello everybody and welcome to the NuWhoZone on the Tardis zone. I hope you're all doing well. It's the bells of St. John. I've sent out the emails to all my guests, so we're just waiting on the panelists all to join me. But welcome. Hope you're all doing well. While we're ahead of everybody, while we're waiting on the panelists, if everybody in the chat that is watching currently right now, if you could get your DVD ready, just like what I'm doing right now, so we can get a bit of a head start, as they say. Dave says he's already got his DVD ready to go. Absolutely fantastic. Daniel has already pressed 1, eager to start as well. Yeah, good story coming up. I'll be watching The Masked Singer with we watch it the night after, but we record it, so I'm watching The Masked Singer after this as well. So I've got something else to look forward to as well tonight. Have a bit of a buzz with the wife. Kristen Morley is in the chat. He said, good evening, Dave, Sadako, Daniel, Michael, and the Tardis official. Welcome. Nice to have you here. As I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, every Wednesday, Cobra Kai Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, Cobra Kai. We're on season 1 at the moment. We're finishing up. We're nearly finished season 1. And then we'll be on season 2. Then we'll work our way up to season 3 and 4. And then everybody on the channel will be caught up. If anybody still hasn't watched Cobra Kai, please do. So then you can take part in the chat. And you know, talk about the show. But anyway, so I got sent something on Twitter, right? So these Doctor Who rumors now are getting way out of hand. So now someone is saying that Peter Capaldi is actually going to be the 14th Doctor, and that he'll regenerate, and then we'll get the 15th Doctor. It's the same thing. It's basically the same story that they're using for Peter Capaldi, for David Tennant, and now they've just dropped Peter Capaldi's name. Guys, listen. The most baffling thing for me is that media outlets are actually following this. It's blatantly, look, if people think that Peter Capaldi is coming back as the 14th Doctor after Jodie Whittaker replaced him when she was the 13th Doctor, I'm sorry, I just don't see it happening. I think what's happening here is there's a lot of wires crossed. Maybe his name's being mentioned in relation to the 60th, we don't know, right? It could be the centenary episode, we don't know. So we don't even know if he's even going to be in it. So these rumors are absolutely bonkers right now. Bonkers. By the way, I better text mute our two guests, because normally Queen Charlotte is here already. Just give her a quick message just to tell her I've sent her the email. It's a bit unusual. Well, we know Lee is always fashionably late. So, I mean, that's why I started a little bit later today, because it's only a 45-minute episode. So I said, no point starting at 7, might as well start around the 7:30, 8 o'clock mark. So I better text Lee as well. See what's going on. What's going on. And I said, hey, yeah. Ooh, what's going on? Oh, we seem to be having sent. Oh, there she is. There she is. Email, buddy. We'll see if Lee. You know what Lee is like. It's the weekend. I suppose it's probably the only time the poor fucker gets any rest. So if he doesn't show up tonight or he's late, sure we won't say anything anyway. PD, it says your device is not connected. You might need to refresh, mate, and come back into the studio. But I will start bringing on my guests. Hopefully Lee pops in before we start. So without further ado, we've got the one and only royalty. It is Queen Charlotte.
I'm sorry, I thought it was 8 used that we were going live.
Yeah, no, PD, you're still says the voice is not connected and I can't add you. You'll have to refresh yourself, mate. Oh, there you are now. Okay, so as you already know, because I've let the cat out of the bag, we got PD Rich joining us.
Sorry, a little bit of mic trouble.
It's okay. It happens with mine as well. I know the mic can be awkward. If the mic is not connected in properly, then you won't be able to.
Yeah, I was just checking on my terminals. I should be fine now. Just like come out connected. Hopefully, don't get a bit of a buzz, a bit of a hum or a buzz from my mic at the moment. I get a bit of weird feedback at my end.
Yeah. Is there a prequel to this episode, lads?
I have no idea.
I haven't checked yet.
Where's Unknown 289? Because he normally is spot on with this shit.
Yeah, because Moffat, he did a load and then he stopped doing them, didn't he?
Then he stopped doing them for a while.
Budget,
yeah.
I think budget. I think it was budgetary.
But with the Clara ones, I think there was quite a few, but I don't think there was as many as there was beforehand. You're right.
So Doctor Who, Bells of St. John prequel. Put that literally into Google and see.
Prequel there is. So yeah, Christian says there is a prequel.
Is it Clara's White Christmas, Vasta's investigation on a detective sin prequel?
Hold on for a minute.
Oh, there it is.
What is it?
What is it called?
Bells of St. John, a prequel.
Right, what's it called?
Bells of St. John, a prequel. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it literally says the Bells of St. John.
It's called a prequel.
He just called it a prequel. He didn't give this one a fancy name. Yeah. Right. Well, hold on. Let me get my earphones. We'll give Lee a couple of more minutes.
We stopped seeing the prequels after Day of the Doctor, didn't we?
Yeah.
All before Day of the Doctor. That one in Day of the Doctor is the best prequel he ever did, I think, Night of the Doctor.
Oh, yeah, that's because it was a proper story. It wasn't just a random bit of...
because they had Paul McGann in it.
Guys, I'm just going to put myself on mute for a couple of seconds. You just have a bit of a chat there. Just have to get the earphone. I just realised I don't have the earphones for the controller. So just... let me get them. They're just over on the table there, but I don't want, just in case you hear any noise, because All right, be back now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he stopped doing prequels, didn't he? As Noel was saying, kind of around series 8, 9.
Yeah, because they were a nightmare to find, weren't they?
Yeah, there's loads of them. Yeah.
From my memory, they didn't make them easy to know where to look on YouTube at the time.
No, they were supposed to be like BBC Red Button, but then they stopped putting them Red Button, started putting them online. That's why I stopped following them.
Yeah, well, like I said, I could understand for some of the stories, but I remember feeling like some of the stories had a prequel that felt like they didn't need a prequel.
Yeah.
Like when he was doing some of the stuff, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. To set up a bit of the backgroundy stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to literally just think of what the prequel could be for this.
I can't remember it. I think this was a dark era, the prequels for me. Well, dark.
The only thing that makes sense, and like I said, I'm just predicting, maybe it's when he's a monk.
Yes.
At the beginning of the episode, so it ties into that.
Dodgy monk. This is a dodgy monk. Doctor being a dodgy monk.
So it could be tied into that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably the dodgy monk one. Yeah.
No,
it just suddenly disappeared, didn't it? It was like making loads of them, and suddenly it was making none.
Right, I'm back.
Well, there was a time when you could tell it seemed to be even hard for him to make the episode, so I bet it was a nightmare to schedule and to do the actual prequels at a point.
The last one was Mysterio, wasn't it?
We've got Lee in the studio, so let's bring him on without further ado. It's the one and only problem being full panel tonight.
Hello.
Now, there's a prequel to this, Lee, just to...
Yeah, I've just found it. Yeah, got it.
Good. Yeah, so just before you all come on, you might have heard me talk about Peter Capaldi very briefly. So, Doctor Who News on Facebook put out an alert, right? Breaking news, right?
That means it's not breaking news.
Right, which means
Doomcock.
it's not breaking news. But anyway, just to let you know what the next ridiculous rumor is. So, do you know the way the Reddit rumor spoke about David Tennant being the 14th Doctor? Now the papers are reporting on it, and then the 14th Doctor is supposed to regenerate into the 15th. Well, now what they've done is they've used the same story, but instead of saying David Tennant now, it's Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sylvester McCoy next.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, they're just going through doctors, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just going through doctors right now. Listen, as I said, right, there's going to be a lot of this nonsense, but what does baffle me is the fact that the media seem to be reporting on this, which just goes to show you that their journalism or their expert in journalism is very limited, because I would know straight away as a magazine editor or one of these, editors of these big media outlets, I would know straight away that that's a bullshit story. But they're putting those stories out. And that's the thing. Fan pages are putting up nonsense, and these media outlets are picking it up and writing whole articles about them.
Yeah.
Listen, the bottom line is this. We spoke about David Tennant on this channel. Is there a possibility that David Tennant is going to show up? Yes. Right? Is there a possibility that Peter Capaldi could show up? Yes.
But that's a heck of a lot less likely than Tennant. That's
exactly though.
Yeah.
Right? There is a chance. There are always a chance, right? Because a new showrunner comes in doing the 60th, might have plans to do a multi-doctor story or whatever. Could end up bringing them all back for all we know, right? Could, right? But it's not official. But what amazes me is if I actually went and I wrote something up like that and I says, well, listen, all the doctors are going to appear in the 60th anniversary, right?
They all appeared in the 50th.
Media, then the media, right? Because this is how stupid they are. Pick up on that, so that gets traction, right? And then everybody starts talking about it. Then the media the next day, then they're writing an article about it. Like, it's not true. You wait until the Peter Capaldi. Look, there's nothing that I would love more than to see Peter Capaldi don his costume again and play the Doctor, right? But it's wishful thinking to think that he's going to be the 14th Doctor and he's going to regenerate after they got rid of him to replace him with Jodie Whittaker. I don't see it. And while Peter Capaldi is a nice man, and he is a nice man, the way he was treated by the BBC, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't want to come back. I'm not saying he wouldn't.
It's not so much that though, because we saw in interviews his attitude, and you could see that there was bad blood when he was doing Suicide Squad interviews, because obviously people brought up Doctor Who.
Yeah, and he had a bit of a swipe,
He even said in interviews, which this wasn't the incident when some journalists were misquoting him. He did say in some interviews he doesn't like multi-doctor stories. So why on earth would he appear in one?
Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, all I'm just trying to say is that these media outlets have nothing to write about, because RTD has probably been very clever and has been able to keep away who he's cast for the 14th Doctor. Now, even if one of these doctors was to temporarily come back as the 14th Doctor and be renamed the 14th Doctor instead of the Doctor that they originally were, I'm not down for that. I'm just going to make that clear, right? It would have to make sense. For me, you could get away with that with David Tennant if it was the Meta Crisis Doctor. I think you could get away with it with the Meta Crisis Doctor, but I don't know how you'd be able to get away with it with the 10th Doctor, David Tennant's 10th Doctor, unless he has a very clever story and it's a multi-universal kind of thing and he's able to explain it. I just don't know. But look, you're going to get these silly rumours all over the place. First it was David Tennant, now it's Peter Capaldi. Next week it'll probably
be Matt Smith.
It'll be Matt Smith. The week after that, then it'll probably be Jodie Whittaker. Oh, she's going to regenerate into herself, and then she's going to regenerate again, or some mad rubbish.
No, it'll be Matt Smith, and then it'll be Joe Martin. That'll be the one after Matt.
Yeah, because they won't, because they know Christopher Eccleston won't come, but so they'll skip Eccleston. You're right. They'll go back to Joe Martin then. Yeah.
Doctor is a clone. There you go.
But look, at the end of the day, as I said, you're going to get all this nonsense. But what baffles me is the media is actually picking up on all of this nonsense and reporting on it. Like, I mean, look, RTD is going to make you all wet your pants soon, right? Because he loves giving information. So stop writing rubbish and wait like the rest of us, because it's not helping. Because you got idiot. Well, I will say one thing though. The reaction of the other side has been actually eye-opening. Because if David Tennant returns, a lot of them are going to be very angry, apparently. Now, this is a doctor that they said they all liked at one stage, even though they thought Jodie's doctor was better. They always gave David Tennant a fair bash, not Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi. They've always went after those two. But David Tennant has kind of gotten away with it.
Because he's pally with Jodie.
Yeah, so, but even now, they're like, well, if David Tennant comes back as the 14th Doctor and I'm done, it's another male doctor, all of this rubbish. Oh, listen, either way, whether all of this is true or not, I do firmly believe, and I was talking backstage last night, I think with Charlotte, wasn't it Charlotte and Lee?
Yeah, it was me and Lee.
And we were having a conversation about, the doctor. Look, well, we think personally, this is nothing we've received, but we think personally that he will cast a male for the doctor. Because you listen to his rhetoric over the last couple of years, he still refers to the doctor as a male character. So, and this is even when Jodie Whittaker was the doctor, he was still referred in he was saying. He wasn't saying she.
And I think that I picked up on separate from Russell, but it's connected, is if you look at a lot of the merchandise when this year, a lot of like some books that are coming out this year and things like that, when they talk about the doctor, they are saying he.
Yeah.
His companions.
Yeah.
And for years they've been saying they because of Jodie. But suddenly now BBC products are saying he. That's interesting, isn't it, folks?
Well, you see, Lee was right? And a lot of people were right. We were right from day one. We never wanted to be right, by the way. We're not being smug when we say this.
I usually am.
But this experiment did fail. And that article to me with that headline still to me will be looked back in years to come, and we'll all have a great old laugh about it. But the one where she said she thought she ruined it for another female actress. She said that she thought she did, but then she was convinced that she didn't. Well, I'm sorry. You did. And that's the reality of the situation. If you hadn't have, and it was the writing, and Jodie Whittaker actually performed out of her socks and she gave us everything, but we knew it wasn't her fault, then yes, there's a possibility that we could move on with another female doctor. But the fact of the matter is not only was the writing stinking and the production team toxic, Jodie Whittaker's acting just wasn't up to the standard that it should be. And if we are all being truthful here, every single person that they've cast as the companion has also been the wrong choice. And I say for the wrong choice because Tolson Cole had potential.
Yeah,
right? But he was wasted. Bradley Walsh, we all know what his acting skill is like. He was wasted, right?
Oh, yeah.
John Bishop started off well, ended up being wasted. The one thing, this is the thing, Mandip Gill, still after all this time, we still, she's just a character that I'm being honest. I'll say it again. I think she's the worst developed character in Who history.
Yeah.
In Who history.
She doesn't get development. She just gets given new traits every series.
That's it. She's no character development. So, seriously, she is actually the worst developed character in Doctor Who's history, in my opinion. Without a shadow of a doubt. Right? No matter what people say about Matthew Waterhouse and all of that other rubbish. Like, he is, look at Adric and his acting. He got some stick back in the day because his acting was pretty poor. But compare him to Mandip Gill. You put them two side by side in different scenes, and I can guarantee you that you'll be saying that Matthew's acting is far superior, even back then, than hers is. It was just every decision they got wrong. But look, at the end of the day, I just can't wait for this announcement because it'll put all this nonsense
it will.
to bed. Because Peter Capaldi being the force, it was David Tennant, and what they've basically done is the exact same story, right? There's nothing different, right? They said that David Tennant was going to be the 14th Doctor and was going to regenerate then into the 15th Doctor. They've taken that story now and they've removed David Tennant's name instead, and they've replaced it with Peter Capaldi. The exact same story. There's no difference. So as I said, don't be listening to all of these rumors out there. If David Tennant comes back, personally, I'll be delighted. He's obviously going to be coming back for the anniversary. I will love him to come back because I think he is a good doctor, and I'd love to see some other doctors turn up as well, but we have to wait and see.
We'll have to buy new figures because we'd already have them. There we go.
That's it. Listen, look, we're only as I said, I don't think we're that long away from announcement. People just need to be patient. See, this is what's happened now. The worst thing that could have happened was RTD announcement being made. Because what's happened now is that now that people know he's coming back and know when he's starting off, people are just hungry for information. And you notice even these fans are not even talking about Jodie Whittaker's era. It's all about RTD now. So I think this current era, I think the last two episodes were in, I think we're in for a rough ratings.
Oh, the next one, yeah.
I think Jeremy Clarkson's having a lash out at them now. Sorry, Sean.
That's an old article.
I was going to say that's not.
It's an old article. People are rehashing old articles.
Oh,
that's another old article. He came out, I think it was last year or the year before that, and he came out and he was skating against Doctor Who. Sure, even Doctor Who fans on the other side were saying, well, what would Jeremy Clarkson know about Doctor Who? He doesn't watch Doctor Who and all this. So they were slagging him off because he was actually dropping truth bombs, even though he hasn't watched the show, but he understands what Doctor Who is. It's a British institution.
Well, to be fair, it's not just that. It's more that I think he's been in the media for how many years? Like, he's been in the industry. He knows the BBC as well. He worked for them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think it's more just he knows the BBC and he knows what actually plays well with the general public.
Yeah.
So he's just calling it out from that angle.
Yeah. So, look, we'll leave it there anyway because we could talk about it on it because I see some people are eager to get this episode going. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Bells of St. John, and it's called a prequel. So we're going to play that first. So if you don't have the prequel, just wait a few minutes. But it is on YouTube according to Lee. So
I'll put the link in.
He'll put the link in. He's going to do his job as the mod.
There you go. Prequel. Boosh.
Right. When everybody has that prequel up, press 1 in the chat. Lee's just have to put it in there, and then we'll play the prequel and we'll see what this prequel's all about. But look, we're going to get craziness and nonsense over the next couple of weeks and months. Right? So, as I said, our job, right, especially on this channel, will be to decipher from sieve the shit out and try, find what's true and what isn't true. And along with information that we've received months ago and stuff like that, I'll try to put 2 and 2 together and see if there's anything legit in this. This is what we do now. This is the fun part. But sit back and relax. But it's kind of ruining it for me because there's idiots out there. I've noticed, right, and Charlotte will probably agree with me on Lee, right? But I've noticed this trend over the last 3 years especially, right? A lot of YouTube channels out there, before I came along and started doing rumor and speculation and all of that, right? There were go-to channels on YouTube that you'd go to, right? But as soon as these fans come into the fandom, They didn't like any rumor being said about Jodie Whittaker, especially rumors that if she was leaving and
Oh
stuff.
God, yeah. If that's just mentioned, it was like,
Yeah.
no, you can't
Yeah.
talk
So
about her leaving.
so this is what happened. They infiltrated all of the likes of Gallifrey base, Reddit, what's that other one? 4chan, and YouTube, right? And you see a lot of YouTubers now, the younger ones, all of a sudden doing rumor and speculation, kind of leaks and all, and it's all from Reddit. But there you go, right? But this is why it's happened. They want to put misinformation out there. They want to, because they don't want fans to get the satisfaction of another male doctor. So this is why they've, over the last couple of months after RTD was announced, what did I say to you on this channel? I says, I guarantee you, watch, they'll be naming off actresses that RTD has worked with that be considered for Doctor Who. Right? What happened? All of a sudden, all these actresses, but every time they mention an actress, then the next day it came out that they were working for Disney or some other company, and it was funny because every choice they were putting out had gotten a new contract to do something different, right? So it was blatant, but this is what they tried to do now. They want to delegitimize sources now, right? Actual sources that are getting information. So that's why they're putting out a lot of false information. And for some weird reason, the media is picking up on all this and is reporting on the false shit. And, well, I'm not really surprised about the media because, let's be honest, the media has kind of backed them up, hasn't they? And said, well, we're the bigots and they're not. So I can understand it in a way, but it's wrong. But listen, let's forget about it now. And
Rod for their own backs, yeah.
Yeah. Right. I have to scroll down, but there we go, bells. I've got my DVD in now. That's why I'm not on camera today, because if I put episode 6 prequel, you don't need to tell me. The fucking DVD tells me. I don't need to know. I'm not blind. If I was, that'd be very helpful, though. Thank you very much. Actually, so fair play to BBC. That audio description thing does be good.
Oh, you put the audio description on, that's why.
Yeah. Right. Is everybody in the chat ready?
Yeah.
No, that's the panel.
Yeah, but they pressed one like 20 minutes
Yeah,
ago before your rant.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, but that was one for the episode before.
No, it wasn't,
because
I put the link in.
All right, well then,
Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks.
Before Moanhole started crying there, like the queen that he is, could someone just do the countdown?
Yep, so 5,
Yeah.
4,
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
2,
No.
1, go.
Go.
No
Oh,
problem.
we did it in time then, mate.
Oh, brilliant. The Bells of St. John. A prequel by Stephen Moffat. Okay, he's on a swing. Oh, that's
I remember
typical,
this
and that's
one, yeah.
Oh, I do remember this, yeah.
Because I work for the BBC.
I love that. Why are you on a swing? Because I want it. But why? Because you're old.
Which is funny considering this is Matt's doctor we're talking about. Like the most youngish looking one out of a lot of them.
Oh, is this this was after Amy and Rory, so he's still pretty.
He's still grieving.
Right, someone's audio's coming through.
I'm just checking, mine's on mute. Oh, sorry, now it's not because I did it the wrong way around. It was on mute before though.
Yeah, your mum's a bit like, not interested that you're talking to a complete stranger.
Yeah, your mum's just having a chat with her mate. Doesn't matter that the
more
adult
interested
is there on
in the
the
latest gossip. Yeah.
talking
Exactly.
to a dog.
She's seen a Primark
My
that week.
thought was, I was going, wow, that mum is hot.
Whilst we're just thinking like safety precautions here.
Maybe he's got a perception filter around him. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone, but only the girl can see through.
Oh,
See, she was annoying then as well.
Oh, she's not full blown feminist yet, Lee.
Oh God.
right, there you go. That just ended like that. Okay. Interesting. I have to say, Clara's mum back in the day, bit of a hottie.
Well,
Irresponsible.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
Clara's
irresponsible.
girl,
Lee, actually, but you would have to bring that up, wouldn't you? I'm saying that she's a good-looking woman, and all you can think of is, well, she's irresponsible for leaving her child there, talk to a stranger, wearing swing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, what episode are we on now? Episode 7, isn't it?
Yep, episode 7.
Yeah, because they don't actually, on these discs, they don't actually give you the name of them. They just give you the episode number, which can get confusing. Right, so there is the leaves. Okay, so this is the episodes. Yes, okay. Right, everybody in the chat, if you've got the main episode ready to go, please press 1 so we can get straight into this and I can stop rambling on about shit that's being said on the internet that's not true.
Yeah.
Every fucking day, like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. It's because it's getting closer to generation. It always happens.
Isn't it episode 6?
No, I've got episode 7 here, Bells of St. John. No, episode 6, The Snowman. Episode 7, The Bells of St. John.
So it is episode 7. Okay.
Well, for me, it's episode 6, but there we go.
What?
Well, that's really odd. Like, I'm on iPlayer.
Oh, on the disc.
I'm not on iPlayer.
No, but because the season break was a special. So yeah, so that's why it's on their disc, but it is the Bells of St. John. Trust me, it's on the disc. It's episode 7, but if you're watching this somewhere else, it's probably they don't have the specials there, so it's episodes in order. So
yeah, if it's series 13, it's a very, very special.
Right, go for it, Charlotte. We've got wands there.
Yep. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Earth. It's Earth.
Oh, feck off with it. Why does this disc automatically do that? Like, I don't want the audio English description. If I want it, I'll fucking ask for it.
I told you there's an English description on.
Look, he's got the fucking Beano in his hand. I wonder how much that copy of the Beano 1981, if that was a legit one, how much that would be worth.
Oh, probably a lot.
That wouldn't happen in real life anyway.
No.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I think the idea of Wi-Fi
wouldn't work like that.
Yeah, I think maybe if it didn't have that stupid symbol, but the pure sort of premise of them using Wi-Fi, because people do just connect without thinking. But I do agree with you, it's the symbol which just makes it look a bit daft.
Yeah, if that's not installed on your computer, it won't come up. It'll just come up as gibberish.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, though, if you had those options, even if what you said was true, PD, you wouldn't click one with like squiggly with writing on.
You'd say, what the bloody hell is that? No one want to connect to that. Go away, go away.
Are we sure we got the right episode?
It's all the Wi-Fi stuff, yeah.
She's standing at the door with him. They're talking about the leaf.
Oh, no, you're ahead. We're still at like Wi-Fi stuff at the intro with the guy talking.
No, well then it's not the right
Rings
episode.
Of Akatan.
It's not the right episode then. I'm
joining the Wi-Fi one.
So it is episode 6.
Maybe on the DVD it's different then.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh,
I do love this beginning.
I forgot it was all fiery now. The intro.
Yeah. Just reminds me of classic Doctor Who again.
There I am watching it, I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, because they sneak Matt's face into it, don't they?
There you go, Matt's face, yeah.
So he's past the intro.
But we've literally just coming up to the episode title now. So literally it's telling us The Bells of St. John, written by Stephen Moffat.
When Tardis comes up, the doors open. And it's kind of... Yay, it's in a monastery. Being miserable.
Right. Are you in Cumbria yet?
Yeah. We're just in the monk bit, the beginning of the monks.
Right, there, Matt Smith has revealed himself.
I know we're not come across Matt yet. You're ahead tiny bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Cumbria 12.
Colin McCarthy.
3 minutes in.
They call him the Mad Monk.
Not the meddling monk. Not yet.
Yeah, but you can tell that was a reference, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Right, when he gets to the scene where he says he's definitely not a monk, let me know. When they're walking down the stairs to go to Matt's doctor, he says he's definitely not a monk. When you get to that
Going
scene...
to need a horse.
Yeah, Matt's just revealed his face.
Oh, see, I was...
And
right.
they're just looking at the picture of Clara now, the painting.
Right, there, right. Well, I probably...
I so love this season. I don't know why.
Same say, run you clever boy. Yeah. And there she is. Clara. Why couldn't we get the Victorian Clara? In fairness, she's not actually bad in this episode.
In this one, no, she's not annoying as much as she can be.
She does have a very diverse family, though.
Yeah, but even like later on in the episode, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Her skills later on make sense because they literally implant them in her. It's later on when she can do everything amazing. You just are like, where's this come from?
Yeah. You can kind of see it sneaking in. You can see all the diversity sneaking in now.
But no, I don't, because it's a family. Like you wouldn't get a family like this in Britain, so.
Yeah, but again, there wasn't a big deal made out of it. Like the dad just brought the kid out of school. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter even if there was diversity in it. It's still under Moffat. Yeah, it was blatant in some parts, but that was BBC's doing. But
it was.
Most of the time when he did it, he tried to do it as respectfully as he could with the limited time that he had. You know?
Exactly. That's the difference between like a later Moffat and the earlier Moffat.
Yeah, but also, if you think about, I'm guessing this is set in London, isn't it? Like, in certain bits of London, that would be a typical
London
family.
was very multicultural compared to the rest of the UK. London was even in the 1500s, for God's sake.
Yeah,
London was very diverse.
It wasn't. It wasn't even diverse until about the sort of 50s.
Yeah.
You know, I knew my great grandfather. You know, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
It was just grandfather.
I am your father.
That's just the way it was.
Did Moffat ever explain how Clara was able to ring the doctor?
No.
Because she says a woman in the shop gave her the number.
Oh, that was.
And I'm guessing
that was because of Missy, wasn't it?
That was Missy. Yeah,
was it
that
Missy,
was Missy.
Right? I thought it was River, from my guess.
No, it would have been Missy. It was definitely Missy because Missy was playing around with him
Because remember when Missy said, you know, I chose you wisely or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it would be Missy.
It was Missy, yeah.
I love the chord.
Oh yeah, this is just Matt doing physical acting, which he's brilliant at.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. West London would be quite diverse.
Yeah, so this family makes sense to have that set up, and I don't think we should really decry it as anything else.
I'll switch my woke dar off for the rest of the episode.
It's a woman and he blesses himself.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't get away with that. Moffat, some of his comments. Imagine if that was in a script now.
Oh yeah.
Especially as in like 5 minutes we have a whole thing about Twitter, which just made me laugh considering what the show has been pandering to for so many years now. And we literally have a whole joke about how Twitter's horrible. in this episode.
But you wouldn't click on a. That's the thing, right? You wouldn't actually click on someone else's internet.
But I think if it,
God, she's stupid.
I agree with the symbol.
Yeah.
But I think if he just gave it a more normal name, I think some idiots would. That's what I mean. The premise is good. It's just a bit of the execution here that isn't brilliant.
Has to be in your font database or it's not going to come up. Random.
He loves the Doctor Who. I love his reaction to it. I don't know if I'm behind or a little bit ahead of you,
Get out there,
but
crazy woman. Crazy
but-
person, sorry.
yeah, she's just closed the door on him.
Yeah. Get out, you crazy man. That's what the message is in the end. Yeah, Celia Emery.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's a well-known actress, isn't she?
Yeah. She was that
She
Celia.
plays a good. She plays a good part in this, though. I quite like her character.
Is that Celia Emery?
No, it is. I'm pretty sure you got the right name.
Yeah.
Used to love
Alex
her in
Belford likes
Acorn
her.
Antiques.
Yeah.
She
Alex
plays,
Bel-
yeah, she plays Smarmy very well, and that's what
Yeah.
this character is.
Alex Belford's obsessed with her. I
Oh,
know
is he?
that. Always Celia Emery type. Celia Emery type. This. He's obsessed with the guy, lady. Oh God. I'm like bloody Strax tonight. I'm calling women men and men women. Oh.
And I like this idea. Her basically playing with the emotions of everybody there and making them more obedient or confident or whatever she needs them to be.
Yeah. Wouldn't the progressives love to be able to have this power?
Oh yes, they would so want this power.
More obedient, more paranoid.
Especially during elections, they'd love to have this power. And
That is Twitter, basically.
Yeah.
There's another thing that confuses me about this scene. So she doesn't want to talk to him. He's been banging on the door, yeah? She hasn't rang the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just telly rules. If you use the normal thing of ringing the police, nothing would happen in television.
By the way, do you notice the scarf in the background?
Oh yeah.
Mobile phone.
Yeah.
It's very Tom Bakery, isn't it? Angie.
Got a lot of technology in their house, haven't
Angie.
they? Yeah.
Do. Don't go up the stairs, Clara. Oh. Where did you come from?
It's like a Mr. Ballin video.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be telling the story, and literally the police get. He's good though. But don't forget to check out Christina Randall, as I said. She's on YouTube as well. She's very big. I was saying it to Cheryl that I said it to you. I don't think she'd be his cup of tea. I says, well, he likes people that tell stories in video form, so like she does the same. Emilia Williams.
Yeah, this is Amy. A little nod to
Yeah.
Amy because she became an author, didn't she?
Yeah.
And if you looked at the cover of the book, it was blatantly Amy, Rory, and the Doctor, but like as young kids.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look.
Amelia Williams, yeah.
I forgot how good this computer girl head thing was.
Oh yeah, it's
No.
freaky, isn't it?
Be the
Yeah.
Doctor.
Spoonhead.
Spoonhead.
Right, it's
Pudding
time
brains
for.
and spoon heads.
Isn't
The
this the
Doctor Who
new
story.
costume now? New costume.
Yeah, now we're getting the new costume.
He's got rid of the
Oh, I
old
love
jacket, the
this
way he just dropped
TARDIS.
the.
Yeah. I love this
Oh,
TARDIS
and
set.
also, is this the first time we see this TARDIS set? Yeah.
No, second
Yeah.
time.
Oh, it's the second time.
See the snowman.
Oh yes.
It's a bit of a cop out. They should have had a
Oh, I
you know
love
proper
that jacket.
dressing room, like
Yeah.
proper.
I do love that jacket.
Where's my bow tie?
In its own special box.
It's like it's a hamster or something.
Yeah.
I do like this costume though. Especially with the waistcoat.
And mine's decided to fuck up, of course. When you're ready. Crying out loud.
Do. Very basic robot design.
Yeah. It's like a BT advert, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Got a problem. I was only here to fix the toilet.
Oh, for goodness sake, this bloody thing.
What's wrong?
Oh,
Pause.
yeah. It's doing the spinny wheel.
Oh, yeah. But that's been happening a lot around the world. I'm telling you, man. Has anybody noticed? I don't know. Maybe it's because they're switching over to 5G or whatever it is. 4G or 5G? 5G? Yeah.
No,
Has
no,
anybody
you-
noticed that the internet has been very spotty lately?
Mine was
Like everybody's internet.
Yeah,
but
mine's a bit spotty.
now it was
Right, can I have a timestamp?
coming up to 15 minutes.
14:50. Yeah.
Well, I'm on the scene where he's hacking the computer now to get Clara back.
Yeah, that's where I'm on. He's hacking to get her back.
Thanks.
To I am the Doctor.
Oh yeah, bit of Murray Gold.
Yeah, well, you know, Murray Gold
No,
made
'cause I'm only here to fix the toilets.
Murray Gold made this era.
Yeah. This just feels so Doctor Who, this episode. What I love about it.
I don't think Doctor Who is Doctor Who without Murray Gold. I mean, look, he got a bit stale. He did. And I think he even admitted that
Yeah, he
himself.
should have passed it down to Ben Foster.
I disagree. I think his work got better as he went along.
You do, yeah. You've said that, haven't you? You actually think his
Series
work is
9
getting
was
better,
good.
yeah?
His work
I think his peak was World Enough in Time. I thought the music for that was.
Oh, the music and that. I can't wait till we watch that again, actually, because you keep bringing that up on it, and I keep just, oh man, that John Sim.
Oh yeah, that's the master I wanted.
That's his man. Yeah, that's it. The performance. That's the performance of the master that he should have been.
Yeah,
and that's what I hope to God. If we get a master, please do it like that, Russell. Please do an actual skip, like.
Yeah.
Well, I want a Delgado-esque masker.
Yeah,
you know,
basically Delgado. Use that as your base, Russell. I cannot have another cackling hyena as the master.
Oh, Jammy Dodgers! Jammy Dodgers!
Oh yeah.
Clara's theme.
Oh yes, it's very storybook, isn't it? Her theme, which suits her character.
Jammy Dodgers. I wonder if he really liked Jammy Dodgers. Were they his biscuit? Because with Jodie Whittaker, they actually put a custard cream thing in it. She didn't even know she was going to get it. But the custard creams apparently is her favourite.
Yeah, but that was like in one episode, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
but they did it for her for just that. Yeah, but they did it for her as a nice little touch because her face, that reaction that when she sees it, that's a genuine reaction because she didn't know it was going to happen. So I wonder if with Matt, he actually really did like Jammy Dodgers, so they found a way of incorporating these Jammy Dodgers into the show. Like they do little things like that, and all it seems like it's small and it's not relevant, but it's a personal touch, and that's what I like.
Yeah, this is the Doctor being proper alien right now. It's like
Yeah.
lick it, sniff the biscuits.
I so much love Matt in this the second half of this season though. It was just perfectly the Doctor.
He's got like half eaten jammy dodger there.
Yeah. He's had a bit of a snack.
That's what humans do, isn't it? Just leave the rest out.
For the cat to eat. For the dog.
I always liked his line where he said at the end when he was leaving his regeneration, I will never forget one line of this. I just thought it was like, yeah, we criticised Moffat's regenerations because they did kind of drag on a little bit.
Matt, I don't think Matt did.
No, but Matt's didn't. But the thing about it is, there was complaints because they do make it personal, and you get that line. I won't forget one line of this and all. It's not really the Doctor talking. It's the talking. Actor. Yeah, it's the actor talking to the fans. But when it's done properly, and I'll still say it, the most emotional regeneration in New Who is definitely his. I know some people like the David Tennant one, but David Tennant one dragged out for me a bit too much. But I did love the scenes. I did love the scenes between him and Will.
I think all the regenerations from the new era have been overly dramatic. It's just like I want it to go back to just being like, look,
the best,
I'm off I go, and then boof, he's gone.
I have to say though, I did like Christopher Eccleston's one.
Yeah, as I said,
did like Christopher Eccleston's one. I know, like he was talking to Rose and saying goodbye to Rose, so I could understand that one, and it didn't drag on, and then he just regenerated into David.
They got
Tennant.
more and more ridiculous, as
they did as it went on. You're right; they just dragged them out. But Matt Smith's though is the most emotional because when Amy walks down those steps and says "Raggedy Man," I lose it. I just can't hold it together.
Yeah, because he tried to do the same thing with Capaldi, didn't he? Had like visions of holograms, whatever it was, and it just wasn't as good.
It wasn't. But I'm glad he got to see Bill before he did regenerate, though. That was the one thing, actually, when I was watching Twice Upon a Time again, and he actually got to see Bill again, and his face, he was just overwhelmed to see her.
Oh, here we go. We've got the Twitter line coming up in a minute.
Yeah.
And the Snog Box line, which does make me laugh.
Yeah. Problem with Deep Breath is we had that clip with Matt in it again. It's like, well, Matt's gone, he's regenerated, you're just making it worse, kind of thing.
Oh, Pete, don't,
that
Pete.
hit me too hard as well.
Is this the one with the fucking scene with the aeroplane?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, but it was fun, ridiculous.
It was. This scene coming up is ridiculous with the plane. I seriously
terrible CGI.
Yeah.
I do love though the idea that it's like she's in the TARDIS, she doesn't get a moment to understand the TARDIS, and she's in another thing. I like that idea.
No, I like that. Yeah, but this was the one scene I didn't actually like in this whole episode, and the motorbike going up that bleeding building. Then no, that's not in that episode. This episode.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It goes up the shard.
Oh, it's the ending of the episode. Yeah, man. Jesus Christ, get away! It's not Batman.
I know, but it was so ridiculous.
Like that's something you'd see in 1960s Batman. You know, fuck's sake.
Yeah, but this is when you could tell like Moffat wanted to make Doctor Who as much of like a blockbuster as he could.
Yeah. No, I get why he wanted to make it bigger. It's just a pity that sometimes his storytelling lacked in some places, but you could tell he was really short. See, that's the difference, and this is why I won't give him as much stick as I used to, is because I can understand now, as we've been watching his era back, what he actually did try to do. And do you know what? I originally, when I seen that jacket, and we didn't see his face at first, I thought that was Paul McGann's Doctor. Because if you look at him from a distance, he looks a bit like Paul McGann. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He looked a bit like Paul McGann.
I do love those ideas, you know, the head swiveling around with the.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I have to say, look, no matter what we think of Clara as a character, Jenna Coleman is a great actress.
Oh yeah, she's a cracking actress. It's a shame how she was written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she started off with potential. Obviously, we got the Victorian Clara. This version of Clara is actually not bad. It's when she starts traveling with the Doctor, then she starts getting arrogant, which
she gets cocky, yeah.
And then she starts getting cocky, and I don't know why he wrote her like that. I know what he tried to do, kind of like a mirror image of the Doctor, show the Doctor what his influence can actually have, and it can have an actual negative impact, you know, that sort of way. And then he's looking at himself through the companion, and he doesn't like what he sees. I can get what he tried to do.
See, I love this shot, like the continuous tracking. You can tell this is one continuous shot, can't you? Of like in TARDIS. She's like, oh God, okay, it's big on the inside. And he's like, right, you can't think about that right now. Grab it. Yeah. I do love this.
It's a long shot, a single long shot.
Here's the plane.
Yeah, it's a brilliant shot.
I'm on the scene with the plane, right?
Yeah.
That CGI just looks... Lee is right. But it gives it its charm.
There was a cut there.
You can give it its charm. Though, yeah, they cut her right off before the plane got too close. I noticed that.
Yeah.
They're in the total. They do love this TARDIS though.
They must have filmed it as one shot and messed it up.
You know what? I'd like us to get a. I would like us to get a TARDIS like Paul McGann's one though.
Yeah.
This time round.
Well, and if
Gothic TARDIS, yeah.
If it's if the rumours are to be believed, then it's going to be like not a physical made TARDIS. They can do a Paul McGann TARDIS if it's all computers.
Yeah, they'll still have a TARDIS set, obviously, to do some of the more practical stuff. Yeah, the close-ups, but all the other stuff, you're right. They can make the TARDIS as big as they want now. They're supposed to be using the same technology that they use for the Mandalorian. So that's 360-degree fucking technology that they use. They can basically create fucking scenes and worlds and shit. So
if you think about McGann's design with all the impressive like pillars and the stuff at the top, you can do that now even better.
Yeah.
So let's not forget that this Doctor has flown a spaceship, an aeroplane, and the Titanic in space.
Yeah, but he hasn't driven a hovercraft.
No, not the hovercraft. You're right. But what kind of gets me is how the fuck does he know how does he? Right, I know he's over 1,000 years old now, but how the fuck can he fly a plane?
But he doesn't know how to fly a plane. He just was like, right, let's have a go, and he just happened to do it.
See, little things like that is where Moffat falls, right? But we go along with it because we know, especially in episodes like this, there's going to be a payoff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think to be fair, this is one of his better resolutions to like a one plot story. This is one of the better resolutions. Because it all works and
the door was left open and
and nobody ever walks in. If you said something like that, you'd walk in.
Now they're shut. Continuity error there.
And this is a good idea. Like they're tracking them through looking on the internet, basically, to see pictures, which is a clever way to track.
Biker.
Okay, I hate to do the comparison, right? But look at Matt on that motorbike compared to when Jodie tried to do it in Doesn't
they
Matt
shouldn't
look
have,
like
they
so
shouldn't
much
have
better?
put Jodie. Yeah, but they shouldn't have put Jodie on a motorbike. I'm not saying women don't ride motorbikes because there are some female motorcyclists out there, right? I'm not saying there isn't, but the majority of motorbike gangs and stuff like that
on the bridge this time.
are blokes, yeah. So. I mean, don't put a woman doctor on a bloody motorbike. They could have gave her.
Do it. I think you could do it, but don't put Jodie Whittaker on a motorbike because she can't pull it off.
But she just looked too goofy or something,
Yeah,
didn't she? When she was on she just didn't look like she could handle the motorbike. That's the thing.
Look at Matt. He looks like he's handling it, and he's quite good at it.
Yeah,
he's quite natural on it.
I don't know. Yeah, she doesn't look that'd be the word. Yeah, she doesn't look natural on it.
Because as soon as that happened in Spyfall, I thought of this episode. Because I was like, oh, so you're nicking off this episode, Chibnall, are you?
Oh, he just nicks off everything. The man
everyone, though,
the man hasn't got an original thought in his head. He's just...
Come on, he ripped off 3001 in the last episode. Well, the episode before
Raymond says, Smith is a great doctor. I agree. My seat is leather, all right. I'm lying in a plethora, but girl, we can still ride together, says Sadako 24. Our space train, our train in space, unlike the 12th, says Chris Persia. Now, I'll tell you, the Doctor has fucking gotten his hands on a lot of fucking vehicles throughout his history.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've just thought, did Pertwee's Doctor do some flying of like helicopters?
He did some flying. He was on a hovercraft thing.
I'm just thinking that you can explain how this Doctor can fly the plane then.
He's got 27 brains. He just said so.
But I'm just thinking, considering what you asked, you could argue then it's old skills from the third Doctor.
Actually, he's driven. Matt Smith's Doctor has also driven a fire engine. I forgot that one in his very first episode. Has he driven a tractor? Says Peter Harrington.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's driven a tractor though. No.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Maybe the next time. I would love him. I would love him to be in an Aston Martin, and talk about James Bond while he's in an Aston Martin and have a kind of James Bondy adventure, Doctor Who kind of thing going on.
His little bow legs.
I know, he's so cute.
Look, especially
I find Matt so cute when he's when he's not being proper angry. Because Matt is scary when he's proper angry. But when he's this sort of angry, he's so cute because he's sort of just like a kid sulking. He reminds me of.
Look at that monstrosity in the background. What's it called? The Shard?
The Shart. We call it the Shart.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Oh, I don't know.
I have to say, right, I've been all these different cities, right? These mad buildings that they build.
Yeah.
Like
the Willie's in the background there. The Willie's got the Willie in the background.
Didn't they have to put something on that glass because it was literally sunburning people when the sun was out?
They did. Yeah,
it melted a car or something, didn't it?
Yeah. Do they not think of these things when they're designing these fucking buildings? Like, that's where they're filming. They're on that building. Like, they're in that building, filming in that building. That's where they are.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Same with that big ass hotel in North Korea, like that big monstrosity. It's like it's empty. Up here, loads of cities built in China. They're not even got people in them because people can't afford them.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch that documentary on China's ghost cities? I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. They were depending on the housing and all of this building to kind of boost our economy. And then obviously the global crash happened. And a lot of these cities ended up not being filled because they couldn't. And it's a shame.
Isn't there an abandoned airport in Spain as well?
Yeah.
Totally abandoned.
Yeah.
Economy crash.
That's right. And there's also one in Mexico. So the Mexican president... that was there before the one that they have now, decided that he was going to build a super airport, and they literally start construction, but then he lost the president election, and then the new president realized how much it was actually going to cost.
Yeah.
And he made improvements to the airport that they already actually had that was all right. This airport, by the way, that the former Mexican president was building was in the arsehole of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like when that priest over, or that bishop over here, wanted an airport at Knock in Kerry, Knock Airport, right, for the people that were coming over to visit the pilgrims, because it's a holy place, right? So the bishop wanted an airport, right? Waste of fucking money, like. There's an airport in the middle of Ireland, like, that's just doesn't get used now. I don't think it gets even used anymore.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man.
Did the bishop get bashed for it?
No.
Why
No,
do they have
because that
webcams on their computers anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I always cover up my webcam. Well, I don't have
Or
to
just
do it
don't
now,
have
because
one,
obviously. But yeah, always do that. Because if you ever see a photograph of Mark Zuckerberg with his computer, where he's in Facebook headquarters, and you look behind him, he actually has something covering his webcam. So he works in the industry. So if Mark Zuckerberg has his computer there and it has something over the webcam, then do what he does. Because he knows, even though he's an asshole. Trust me, though. If he's covering his webcam, he knows he's being spied on.
Yeah.
But this is true to form. People do put where they work on Facebook, so you could easily track a lot of people that way. So I think Moffat's making a good little commentary here.
Yeah.
At the Shard. It should have been called the Shit.
The Shard.
The Shit.
Yeah, I thought that Sudoku, like, was the doctor just seeing the news lady speak like that? Because it must have been a bit weird.
Look at his face now and his eyes now in this scene when he's talking to your woman. I might be still a bit ahead of you, but again,
it's not
the acting in the eyes. It's the acting in the eyes again and how angry he can get.
Well, right now this is robot doctor.
Yeah.
So you can tell instantly because of the way Matt's speaking that something's up. Although he gets if you want to see proper angry, it's when he's in the office in like 5 minutes or so. That's when he's scary.
I have to say, this is impressive though. This CGI still holds up, I have to say.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with this concept for these...
that's great. I love it.
Isn't it, Lee? It actually is.
Especially because you see the eyes, like, move with the head twirling, so it looks even more creepy.
Uh-oh.
But no, you do realise what this is, though. This is like a better version of the Idiot's Lantern.
Yeah, certainly is.
Exactly.
The whole, please, where am I? It's the Idiot's Lantern.
No, I agree. As you know, I have my problems with that story, to be quite honest with you. But this one I do like. But it's just a couple of scenes in this that are ridiculous. But overall, the storytelling is very good in this. And the CGI holds up in some places. In others, not so much. But, that's the charm now, though. The Doctor Who will have that. See, this is the thing now I'm kind of worried about. With the money that they have now, Doctor Who's going to be more polished, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to have proper CGI now and stuff. And, while that's good in some ways, in another way for me personally, it's bad because I don't mind the CGI looking a bit rough because that's what gives it its charm. Obviously not the era that we're watching now because the writing is just bad as well. But, I mean, CGI, man. We'll see.
Yeah, Ryman just made a good point. This episode uses landmarks really well. Like, you feel like this is London. And I do miss that. I have for ages in Who.
Don't worry. But RTD's version is very British.
That's what I want back, because I felt like we've lost that for a while.
Yeah, he'll bring the Britishness back to Doctor Who, because if you look at the current era, there's nothing British about it. It seems very anti-British, if you ask me.
All you get is the odd, like, Sheffield landmark, but even then it's not that special. Well,
it's not.
If it was Cardiff in Russell's day, or like this episode London, it feels like those places. Oh, this is when he's got scary, Matt, now.
Yeah, he's about to go into the office now. Yeah, he's in the office now. But I didn't mention that scene. It didn't look too bad this time round, but it's still ridiculous though. How did the bike stick?
But It's a zero gravity bike. You can go up. It's
Oh, you got a gravity bike. Okay, I must have missed that then. Okay,
got like a
makes
little
sense
button on it you pushed. Anti-gravity bike means your bike you can do like what was it? Aeon flux. You can go upside the buildings and stuff with. Or is it ultraviolet?
I love that because I'm going to motivate you.
That's what I mean. I like that cheap, tacky feel. It makes it feel more Doctor Who, LOL. I don't mean like leave tacky, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from. But yeah, it has that charm
Yeah.
because of the CGI.
Wasn't a Doctor as well. It was the
But it's
Spoonhead.
going to be very polished and it's going to look very good.
Oh yeah,
And
because
it's-
I've been watching Discovery of Witches.
And
and it's very polished, that program.
Yeah, and I'm being honest. If RTD can do half of what he did back in 2005 and add to it, then we are in for some hell of an era. I hope so, because it's been a long time coming. Even under Stephen Moffat, I think Series 5 was probably his best.
Oops. Oops.
Oh yeah, I love this how he gets Clara out and how he saves the day, because he gets the head lady trapped in it, and that's why they get released. So it's pretty ruthless, but it's brilliant.
Obedience all the way up.
Yep.
It's a bit antithetical to what the Doctor would do, though, but needs must.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he releases them all in the end, if I'm correct in saying.
Oh yeah,
They
no,
all
that's
end up
what he
being
said.
released.
Because he's when she's like, oh, we can't do that. She's like hardwired in, and he goes, well, release everybody then. So he wants to get them all out.
Yeah. Just sitting there like nothing's happened. Yeah.
Of course, Moffat always has to show the glow. He loves showing the earth. I know RTD did as well,
Yeah.
but it's mad how he beat them.
It's very doctory, though, I think. Oh, and this is what's his name, isn't it? Richard E.
Grant.
Yep.
Grant. So
Great
he was a
intelligence.
good casting as the Great Intelligence.
Yeah.
I would urge you to check out his single that he released, "To Be or Not to Be." It's fantastic. Just like the Shakespeare Hamlet thing to music, techno. It's really good.
Oh, and I
That's what
forgot
Will Shatner would do.
Yeah, I'm watching this today. I forgot the reveal about her, and it's so messed up.
Yeah.
Because they just said then, oh, you've been in my ear for so long, so you think, oh, maybe a few years then you've been under his control.
Yeah.
But in a minute, when they find her in the office, you go, bloody hell, like.
Yeah. That's right. He's able to fix toys.
That's freaky.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's horrible. So basically, he took her as a little girl, and she's aged naturally, but been under his control. Like that
Pretty
is
much.
messed up.
Come in.
And look, he's kept the glasses off Amy.
Yeah. I just love this TARDIS interior. There's also the alternative Ninth Doctor, Michael Q. Scream of the Schalke.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I love this TARDIS set.
Yeah, and I've just realised, like, Clara had a proper motive this series. She wanted to travel. She wanted to get out in the world.
Yeah.
She wasn't just a plot device.
I love that. Does this work? Clara's theme.
Yeah, I forgot how good her theme was until I watched this.
She didn't make it easy for him, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think the difference was, though, at this point, you could tell she wanted to.
yeah,
But she was
just
being a bit like reluctant. Not reluctant. Yeah, I can't think of a good word for it. Like, she wanted to, but she wasn't gonna just walk in without thinking about it. She was gonna take her time.
But that was the thing, Moffat. You didn't actually take us to see who she feckin' was. That was the feckin' problem.
I know.
You turned her into the fucking Doctor 2.0. That's not who
Yeah.
she was. And then
You turned her into the Impossible Girl. That was the problem.
the Impossible Girl, yeah, where she could. The Rings of Akatan is not a bad story, but I just don't like
It's
the
got one of
singing in
my
it.
favourite Matt scenes. The scene when he's like talking or having that whole speech to the son.
Yeah.
Oh, that gets me every time because Matt is just performing his heart out.
Yeah.
Woo woo woo.
Quite.
Next week's episode is actually good.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
I
like
like
that
it.
one.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't.
I
That
don't like the
stupid
singing.
bloody song.
Yeah, I'm with you on that now. I don't like the song, and then the cringe during the lockdown.
Yeah, it was
of
silly.
Doctor Who
It
fans
was right.
actually sang that song. But Joe, the little girl there, she's a
Yeah.
feminist. She came back during the Doctor Who lockdowns, I think, when they were singing that song, and she said some stuff she did. So, like, the little girl in it is
I
become a...
personally didn't watch that thing because I quite like the song, so I was like, I'm not going to watch this little lockdown video.
that was cringe.
Yeah, I knew it
all
was
the
cringe
Doctor
fest.
Who fans, and it was
Oh,
all.
God.
And here was the funny thing: when me and I think Lee watched the video as well, but it was startling because there was like literally out of all the people that they showed, at least 20 of them have harassed and bullied people in this fandom.
Oh yeah, they were all the Twitterati, weren't they? Basically.
Yeah. So that was the funny thing about it, that all of these toxic fans were part of this, and it just looked cringe.
Well, good. You know, they're the ones that have to
Trying
live with
themselves
that.
up, yeah.
Anyway, let's get into this. Why did me chat just skip there? Okay, so we'll start off with Charlotte first. If you'd like to give this week's episode your rating.
Yeah, this is one where it has actually gone up in my estimations, because from my memory, I remember not hating it but not loving it. It was sort of a middling one, if I was going to describe it before I watched it again. And watching it again, I quite liked it. Like, I think the core idea of Wi-Fi being used to like attack people or like get people actually makes sense in modern day, because it is something we all use, and it is sort of such a part of our life now. I do agree, though, they made it like a somewhat ridiculous with what the image, the little symbol they chose. They should have just had some text, and then you would have been you would have believed it a bit more. But like I said, the core premise was good. Clara was actually quite enjoyable in this episode. A lot of the stuff I come to hate near the end of the run with her isn't present yet. She's sort of this inquisitive, sort of likable character. And the Doctor, you can see he's trying to work her out, and it's fun to see him sort of be on the back foot with her a lot.
Mm.
And I do think Matt and Gemma do have good chemistry together. I think they work very well together. So that just works naturally. And I think the Great Intelligence was done quite well. They were creepy. They had I like that you didn't see them for a good chunk of the episode. It was only right near the end. And like I said, once you sort of click what the Intelligence was doing with the harvesting of human minds and having all those workers there for years and years and years.
Basically sheep.
Yeah, basically living a false life. And like I said, the implications with the older lady that literally she was a child. A very young child, by the way the actress was speaking.
Exactly. So she was taken as a child and then she
taken as
reverted back. Yeah.
That's an incredibly young child and was sort of kept in his thought, in like his control, but she aged naturally like she would. But yeah, and I don't mind some of the more bombastic. You can tell he was trying to go a bit bombastic with this episode, a bit of show it off. But yeah, I think the only criticisms I could really give it is there's a bit of some things aren't quite believable enough to go with some of the silliness. So I'll give this an 8. I think 8's a good one to knock off a couple of points for like some of the ideas not quite translating as well as I think Moffat wanted them to.
Yeah, fantastic. Christian Morley is leaving. He says, I'm going to have to bounce. Have a good evening all. Stay safe and take care. Good night. Thanks for popping in. We really appreciate it. Lee, we'll go to you next, pal.
Yeah. Did anyone spot the Easter egg in the episode?
There was a few, wasn't there?
There was a few Easter eggs, Lee. Which one in particular are you talking about?
The book.
Yeah,
Amy.
did. I brought it up, yeah. Amelia, I've seen it. Amelia Williams, I've seen it, yeah. I mentioned it during the episode. It's
a good episode, actually. I liked it when I first saw it because I really liked the spoonhead things, you know.
Yeah.
I really liked that effect. I thought that was quite...
It actually was impressive.
Doctor Who, really, isn't it? You know, that's what I liked about it. It is a bit over the top in places, you know. I think... but when Matt does his sort of serious stuff, he's really good. He's got very good, deep sort of eye contact. He's always searching, you know, he's always looking and, you know, deep into the person he's talking to. It's like he's studying absolutely everything. I love that performance in him. He's highly energetic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jenna, yeah, she's still so fucking smug. I just can't. I mean, at first, you know, because she was new and, you know, interesting, and, you know, I still think we would
the
have been
first
better
few
off
episodes,
with,
she's actually not bad, isn't she? Not
Victoria Clara would have been better, but hey. But yeah, I mean, she's she's just still so smug.
Yeah, you're not a fan, obviously, but neither am I. I have to be honest. But the first few episodes, I have to admit, I think she's okay. It's just, I don't know what happened with Stephen Moffat with her, but he seemed to be infatuated with Clara's character.
It's a bit strange.
And it was like he really did focus more on Clara's character than he did on really the Doctor's. And maybe, all right, we saw the end game. Maybe that was his plan all along, but to give her, as we know, she gets her own TARDIS and all that. That was just, you know, it's. But go on anyway, Lee. Sorry for cutting across. I just wanted to get that out because Clara is really poor. I have to say, go on.
Yeah, I mean, she's.
No, she's good in this, but she's poor overall.
She's a bit of style over substance, if you know what I mean. She's just a bit too prim, too perfect, and too nice, but not that nice, really, if you think about it. You know, there's something just off about her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's a good actress, and, you know, I liked her in Victoria, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just have a problem with this.
Yeah, she was a bit more cheeky, the Victorian Clara, though, and she had a charm about her, which seemed to be missing then when he did this version of Clara. Why not keep that trait?
She's a bit too cocky.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're writing a female character, so now you have to make her really cocky and sort of quite unlikable.
And because like if you think about Amy, she could be cocky, she could be full
but
of
she
herself.
was feisty. There was a reason for it, you know.
But that's my point, Lee. Like Amy, it worked. Amy,
she really had to look after herself.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas with Clara, it was, I don't know if he was trying to repeat the same thing and just did it terrible. I don't know.
Yeah. So what would you give the episode, Lee?
Well, Celia Imrie, I absolutely love her as an actor. Usually she's a comic actress, isn't she? And the nice little reveal at the end. I like the sort of the very Doctor Who-y kind of. It's kind of dark with the whole thing. She was taken as a child, and then you get the great intelligence reveal,
which was done very cleverly. Actually,
I mean, the start, the premise, you know, of like people's souls, you know, that annoying guy at the start, you know, souls have been up like, well, how the fuck would you know? Well, I suppose, you know, you can argue because he's been uploaded, he knows more, but it just doesn't make sense. And you know, human souls, human minds and stuff being just absorbed into the. I mean, the premise is itself pretty cool, science fiction-y kind of thing, but like the actual description of it, when you say it like that, you know, people's souls, you know, souls and science fiction, it's a bit of a disconnect to me. But anyway, the episode, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
No problem. PD?
Well, I have to say, I really like this episode. I don't know what it is. It's not a perfect episode of Doctor Who, but it's a very Doctor Who-y episode of Doctor Who. And it's a very good start to a brand new, what was at the time a brand new season. It wasn't a brand new season for itself, but it was actually it was the second half of a season, but it felt like a brand new season to me. That's probably why I liked it. I thought Clara was all right in this one. She gets annoying a bit later on, but she's fine at the beginning.
Yeah.
Terrible in the end, but you know. But I just really enjoyed it. I loved all the little references. I loved that little scene where they end up going in the Tardis and suddenly they're on the plane. I just thought it was a very creative and very well done episode. It was an absolute change of pace, a bit more faster, a bit more heavier, and a lot more better Murray Gold music. So yeah, I give it 9 out of 10.
Fantastic. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. Even though I don't like the motorbike scene or the plane scene. I don't like the plane coming in between the two houses. It just looks, obviously it hasn't aged well. But other than that, it is a great story. I'm like Lee, I like those spoon robots, whatever you want to call them. They're very, very, very good idea. I do agree with Charlotte, the internet symbol. You could have used words or a clever word or something instead of symbols. That would have, you know, that was a bit stupid. Nobody just clicks into some random. Well, you might have a couple of stupid people, as Charlotte has pointed out, that might actually chance their arm and do something like that. But the majority of us would connect to our own internet. So that was a bit unbelievable. But yeah, Clara's not bad in this. And it is sinister. I do like the end, the twist in the end. Like, I mean, she says it herself when she's talking to the great intelligence. It took me such a long time ago. I don't even know who I am anymore.
Well, no, I think the wording is, and it's clever. She said, "You've been in my ear for so many years."
Oh yeah, you've been in my ear for so many years. Yeah, and then she resets herself, and then we realise how long it actually has been, and it's since she was a little girl, because she reverted back to being a little girl. But obviously now she's an old woman in reality, because our body has aged. So yeah, what did I say? 8 out of 10? No, what did I say? 8 out of 10?
You said 9.
9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. 9. Because the story itself was actually a fascinating story. Even though there is some Moffat traits in there, it's still very good. So yeah. The Rings of Akatan, I don't like the song. That whole scene pisses me off. But
I like
if I remember, some people are saying it's highly underrated. But again, this is why we watched this, because some episodes that we've already watched during the Matt Smith era, we didn't like originally. And then we watched again, and they were far better than we remember. So, the same thing could happen with
apart from the
next
Chibnall
week's
ones.
episode. We'll see, except for the Chibnall ones, of course, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the Rings of Akatan.
Yeah, because it's Neil Cross, isn't it? That's written the next one.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
then there you go. Daniel already has his hashtag going. Next week's episode sucks. I hate rings, says Daniel. But yeah, well, as we said, we're going to give it a go. I can see Chris is putting all the links.
Thank you, Chris.
Into the chat, so that's fantastic. So we'll leave it there, folks, and we'll be back during the week. Until then, keep your ear to the ground. As I said, don't be listening to any of those ridiculous rumors. I'm pretty sure RTD will have something to say sooner rather than later. So just wait for him to come out and announce something. All this David Tennant and Peter Capaldi stuff, it could be either wires crossed or it's just fans just, because they seen that the Mirror had used the screenshot or the fake screenshot that had been proved to be a hoax in an article. Maybe this was other fans trying to chance their arm and now mention Peter Capaldi. But as I said, just wait and see what happens. I say we're not too far away from something being announced.
Here's my prediction. We know Russell, we know Julie, Phil just got announced. I think we're going to get the score who's doing the music next.
Yeah, and if it's Murray Gold, when you see everybody lose their shit, everybody listen. I listen to Murray Gold's music in the shower. I'm not going to lie. When I'm having a shower and I want to listen to something, some of his upbeat music or some of his relaxing stuff, I'll put it on. I still listen to all these Doctor Who stuff. I always will, because without him, he was another important element of the success of the RTD and the Moffat era. So hopefully, he returns, because I think he deserves another shot at it, to be honest. And remember, he's fresh now. He hasn't worked on Doctor Who. So I'm pretty sure he can come up with some amazing stuff. Look, exciting times ahead, as I said. Just keep his ear to the ground and we'll keep you informed to the best of our ability. But I wouldn't be getting too bogged down with these articles, folks. What they basically are is clickbait. They've nothing to talk about, and they're trying to sell a few covers. And I mean, it's getting so ridiculous now that if you are a credible journalist, the shit that you're putting on paper is rubbish, but you go with it anyway. These journalists don't have integrity, folks. Right? They literally write arting about arting, even if they know that it's false. Right? Because anybody with half a brain or a journalist with half a brain would have actually looked at the screenshot that originally started all this nonsense off and saying that was actually a hoax, right? They don't do their proper research. So don't be listening to the media, what they're saying, right? The main man to listen to, look out for his account as well, and actually follow Bad Wolf Productions on Twitter. And if they have not a YouTube channel, if you have Facebook or Instagram, I don't know if they do, follow them, right? Because they'll be the ones making announcements, okay? Remember, this is under Bad Wolf Productions, so, and I know they're on Twitter, so go and check them out, and follow them, because they even shared an article where it said that RTD was back to save Doctor Who. They retweeted an article that actually said that. So, look, wait for them to say something, or wait for something official to come from the BBC, because it'll still come through the BBC, even though it's a Bad Wolf Productions thing. They'll need all the advertising and public eye on this as much as possible. So don't be listening to journalists. Journalists don't have integrity anymore. They'll literally write shit on shit to sell it to the people that'll lap this up, right? Look, don't get me wrong. There's nothing more. I would love to see Peter Capaldi return, but I'm not going to get sucked in to stupid fucking rumours that he's going to be the 14th Doctor. That is not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. No matter how much people would want it to happen, ain't happening. Ain't happening at all. Right? Why would they do that? I do believe, and I'll leave with this. I do believe there is something in this whole thing with the 14th Doctor regenerating into the 15th Doctor. I think there is some legitimacy to that, because that rumor has come out, right? Okay, fair enough. They're attaching different names to it, but it seems to be the same rumor that they seem to be going with this whole thing that 13th Doctor into the 14th Doctor, the 14th Doctor into the 15th Doctor. It seems to be out there, and a lot of people are talking about it. So I think there might be something in it. Now, whether it's David Tennant as the name, the first name that was mentioned to be doing this, if it's David Tennant, well then we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. There could be wires crossed here. It could be for the 60th. You never know. It's just one of those things. So I'll leave it there anyway. Let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks and months ahead. It's going to be very exciting times in the fandom. Until then, we'll see you next week, folks. Enjoy the end of your weekend and have a great week. And we'll see you soon. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.